Good morning, everybody. Shift Your Mindset here with a new episode. And this is about appointing ministerial servants or elders and the age requirement. And it's in the open for a few weeks now, I think. But I just recently heard few weeks ago that my brother-in-law is appointed as an elder. And before I left the organization, we were both miserable servants. So I'm about 4 years out now, and just now he became an elder. He's already, I think, 48, 49, so he's old for becoming an elder. Why? Because recently, from 21 years old, you can become an elder. 18 years old, a ministerial servant. And I know why they do it. It's a legal thing, 18 and 21. But also, they want to draw you in at a younger age so they have control over you. And it's a smart move from the Watchtower. But I don't think they will benefit from it. Why? The generation after me is more lazy than the older generations. If I look back at my time as a ministerial servant, I was busy with everything, and especially when I was divorced and I was alone. I had to prepare a public talk. The guys who gave them know how much time that takes to make a public talk. I was involved in the audio and video team, together with another brother. So almost every Sunday, every midweek meeting, we were screwed. We were the miserable servants who had to take care of a duty someone else would have to do. Oh no, I'm not gonna make it, or I have a talk on the midweek meeting and I have to prepare that, so I can't do audio, video and being on stage at the same time. So can you cover for me? And I'm in another congregation this weekend. Can you cover for me? That was the story of my life. So we were also video recording our meeting because we are one of the 2 congregations in the whole country who recorded the meeting. If something else in another congregation couldn't go through, there were no brothers to give a public talk or whatever, something went wrong, then they could play that meeting on the screens. And also the people who were sick at home and missed the meeting could click on that in the JW orgs. Somewhere in the org site, they could get permission to view that meeting. So I was editing the congregation meeting. We had to cut out the prayers from the brothers. After the music stopped, we had to stop it, we had to edit it, we had to cut out the prayers of the congregation. And maybe some people who commented on the Watchtower and wasn't approved by some brother who was the head of the audio video team, and then we had to cut out a little answer or something. So it was a lot of work, and we had to edit the video in the JW org site. Then we had to upload it, and it took an hour at least after every meeting. And in the midweek meeting, when you finish at 9 o'clock, you were in the Kingdom Hall till 10 o'clock. Then we had the territory cards, the whole system we renewed, stuff like that. So you are busy as a miserable servant. What it was. You can't get any credits for it. So I don't think it's gonna work for the current JW situation. Brothers are not happy with all the work that they are getting. I know numerous people who turn down to be a minstrel servant because of the work, the extra work they have to do. They don't want to do the audio and video because they want to sit with their family, blah, blah, blah. All the excuses I hear all the time in my life. And then at 21 you can become an elder. And that's very interesting for me because your frontal lobe isn't developed yet at 21, especially by us males. So a 21-year-old elder, and you're already appointed as an elder by the Holy Spirit. Now, that's something I know isn't true, because the elder meetings is only when the CEO is visiting or is coming to visit, and then they go to a list of maybe brothers. Oh yeah, brother Nosy. Oh yeah, brother Nosy. Yeah, brother Nosy. Okay, yeah. And brother knows it all. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. And then they go to the hours, return visits. Oh no, he's gone. If you are appointed by Holy Spirit, then you know, okay, that brother, that's a spiritual brother. He's helpful, he's always friendly, he's calm. Then they go over the list of all the things. And one of the things of an elder is that he's the head of the family and directs them in the right direction and takes charge of that family. Now you have a 21 single brother, and then they're gonna think about, is he able to lead a family? But he doesn't got a family. So how do you know he is able to guide people, to be the head of the family, stuff like that? We all want, what if he doesn't have a wife? Nothing now. Maybe he gets a super strong woman who plays the boss, whatever. How you know on forehand, before that happens, how do you know if he's qualified to be the head of the family? You don't know. So the elders all have a list of qualifications brothers have to meet. If you are appointed by Holy Spirit, you don't need a list. You just know. You just know this brother. We're gonna appoint him. He's spiritual. He's the man. We're gonna appoint him. So that whole spiritual thing, I don't buy it. Why? I know a guy who is appointed as an elder. He also had the meeting with the CEO and another elder or two elders, and they appointed him as an elder. They shook hands, they hugged each other, welcome to the team. And I prefer name him a greenhorn or apprentice or whatever, but not an elder, because you didn't do anything to prove that you were an elder yet. But he was already approved. It's just the announcement 2 days later, or that day 2 days later on stage. And 1 minute before the announcement came, he ran to an elder. I said, no, you can't do the announcement. I have something to confess. Don't do it. Then that elder rushed to the elder who had that talk with the announcement before that. And there was a big commotion and everyone was running around and whatever. After the meeting, he was in the back room and he 10 minutes later he was on restrictions. He was no longer a ministerial servant. So if you are appointed by the Holy Spirit, why was he appointed as an elder, also approved by the CEO, while he was hiding some shady stuff? Yeah, you can say, yeah, but the Holy Spirit prevented him from being announced as an elder, so the Holy Spirit, Jehovah's works, blah, blah, blah. No, Jehovah doesn't work like that, because he was appointed as an elder by all the people here on earth, and they made a wrong decision. So there's a lot of evidence that people who are approved as an elder, being an elder and doing some shady stuff. So there's no appointment by Holy Spirit. It's an appointment by man. And now 20-year-old men are gonna judge and be participating in a body of elders. But I think it's all theory, because in normal life, my brother-in-law is 48 years old, something like that, and now recently appointed as an elder. I'm 4 years gone, so he was, for more than 4 years, he was a ministerial servant, doing his best to become an elder, but still it took him 4 years in the new situation, because it's already going on for a few years that they want newer brothers, younger brothers, because the gap with the old generation is too big. And we've seen it in the past also. 65-year-old elders, no ministerial servant, no younger elders, nothing. And suddenly when some of the elders die, there's a big problem, and now they're gonna reshuffle the deck. So they want young people to shuffle the call. They want young people to get in line. They want to make sure that the bloodline of the elders and the people in charge will be there. Younger people are more easy to indoctrinate. Young people are, you can mold them better, but you have a problem. And the problem is you still have people in the organization, in the congregation, who don't play along with these rules and don't. And the other problem, I think, is the younger generation isn't waiting for more work. It's a different generation. They are not out there to get more work. They are happy with what they're doing, with going to the meetings, sometimes participating a little bit, but I don't see anyone or big numbers growing of people who want to become a ministerial servant, because it's not appealing nowadays. And I think a lot of people who are younger are waking up more early, so they're already in doubt. So I don't think this is gonna work. And also what's not gonna work is, yes, they are maybe an elder at 20 years old, but they are not going on a shepherding call to a brother and sister who have marital problems. There's no 20-year-old elder sitting there and say, hey, oh, you have problems with intimacy in your marriage. Okay, brother, did you try dressing up as a cable guy? Or did you try to dress like a plumber to make it more spicy, to spice things up in your marriage? Some little role playing, sister? Maybe you can be a nurse to make it more attractive for your husband, for the intimacy. That's not gonna work. They are getting confronted with too much stuff going on in the congregation. And Rank and files don't know it, but it's just the same as in the outside world. There's a lot of things happening. All those sisters, adultery, weirdest things I can tell what's happening in a congregation. And they are being confronted at 20 years old with all those things. So they are gonna get so much mental health issues. I'm feeling already sorry for the ones who are being appointed at 21 or at 18 years old. The pressure on them is too much, and they are getting information that they are not ready for. So on the one hand, it's smart from the governing body to lower the age to 18 for a miserable servant and 21 years for being an elders. But on the other hand, the long term, I don't think it's gonna benefit Watchtower. I don't think this is the golden egg they're waiting for, because they use the young people for the technology behind it, for playing videos and stuff like that. But to become an elder, it's a different ball game. And also you have now a lot of elders who are in between. They already should have been an elder and they're not even appointed yet. So then they see the 21 years old getting appointed to being an elder. So there's a lot of friction going on in a congregation, believe me. And I already spoke to some people who said people are getting mad. All the elders also still think you have to prove yourself. Wait a few years, prove yourself that you're up to the job. But Watchtower is lowering the standards, and the elders' standards are higher. You are now active, so you don't have to say how many return visits and Bible studies and stuff you have. So it's difficult, more difficult now to determine for the elders if he's qualified or not. So it will be an interesting playing field in 2025, how this is going to develop. But I think the generation or the 2 generations behind me are not up for that task. They are not buying it, and they don't want all those responsibilities. And I think the elders, or becoming an elder now, they are more aware that there maybe in their country there will be legal repercussions when they become an elder. And they're also guilty for governments to prosecute. So I don't think that elders now are standing in line for becoming an elder. I think many of those people will try and hold it off. And you have a lot of people who are in that area age of 18 till 25 who are PMO, who are mentally already out, but they're still having attachment to family or whatever. So they're in, but they're not willing to step up and have more responsibilities. They want more and more. They want to go to the background. So that's my take on it. Choose wisely, guys. If you are in JW and you're watching, it's a big responsibility. Choose wisely what you're gonna choose. If you want to become a ministerial servant or being an elder, you have to choose it for yourself. Don't get pressured into it. Don't let anyone talk you into it, or something that, hey, I'm 19 and I'm not a ministerial servant, so there's something wrong with me. That also will happen now, but let people be people. Just do your own critical thinking and think about the consequences of the steps you are making. Thank you guys for watching. See each other on the next episode.